Okay. I'm working on a 1987 Lincoln Town Car. All right. What I'm doing is I'm taking the well, I've already taken it out. I didn't film it from the beginning because, well, I started filming. I had some issues. Battery got low. Blah, 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 whatever, whatever. But I do want to film this for those of y'all trying to get this out because I saw somebody did this on the rear door. I was never able to find it on the front door. So let's film this, and I might overlay the voiceover or whatever. Um, but basically, the way to get this out of here, I have no idea what the factory service manual says. 9 times out of 10, it's a Ford. It probably wants you to take. This is a regulator. This is your window track for the big window. I have tape holding the window up so it won't fall. In these 87s, this little smoker's window or whatever you want to call it, it comes down first. When this is all like when it gets to about right here, when this point is right here, this window then comes down. Let me see if I can show you this on the passenger side. Granted, if you're watching this video, you probably already got one of these cars and you already know how the freaking windows work. But let's try this. All right, I'm gonna show y'all on the. Hopefully y'all can see that. See that one go down, then the big window goes down. It does the reverse on the way up. So that's what this one over here does. So when you get ready to take this out, there are rivets here. Here is 6 rivets. There's one that goes here, 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 here. So drill all those out on these Fords. You got to tap that center pin out. If you don't get that center pin out, you're gonna have to grind it down or something and finally get it to knock out. It's a steel center pin, but the rivets are aluminum. And then you're gonna have 3 little dimples. This hole was already here. I think somebody had been in here trying to do this before. But there's gonna be a dimple here. You wanna drill that one. There's gonna be one here. You're gonna drill that one. Don't worry, your door panel will cover that. There's gonna be one here. You're gonna drill that one. Now this is the best thing to do if your motor's not working and you can't get your windows down, because the motor will be right down here. And you want to use the 1/2-inch drill bit, and you'll be able to get an 8mm socket in there. It'll adjust the 8mm. It'll just have enough wiggle room to sneak in your hole. You can use a bigger hole, but I used one just close enough. And when you go in there, the bolts will be right there. They'll be straight back. You take those 3 bolts out. That's all 3 of them look identical. That's what they look like. You won't be able to get that little collet through that hole. It'll fall down in the door. Just take your speaker out, reach in there and get it. Now, here's where I had the problem. See these locating pins right here? When I had the windows all the way up, pull this up. When you have these windows all the way up, I got somebody pulling the window up for me. See it moving? That's good right there. But when your window's all the way up, your bolts are going to be right here. So if your windows are stuck down or something, drilling these will not work. I don't know what you're going to do. You're going to have to think about it, mull over it, figure it out. But once you have these bolts out, then I decided to go ahead and drill these rivets. Actually, I drilled them first and I put them back because I thought, anyway, it was a long process of what I thought. But anyway, leave your rivets in. Drill out these dimpled holes here. Get your bolts out. Then what you want to do is, if your motor's still going to be attached, and you can pull that motor, and like I said, if I can get the lighting right, as that window goes down, the motor swings up, so you can kind of see what you're doing. I took a pry bar and had to pry it off. It was the original motor. It was on these little locating pins, really good. And as you can see, it's kind of rusty in there. But once you get the motor out, like I said, this brings it over into the speaker hole and it's kind of accessible. I think Ford did that on purpose. It took me a little while to figure that out because I don't have the service manual. And then you can put your new motor back. So I'm going to film this a little bit. I don't know how cohesive this will be, because I'm going to film it the best I can. It's kind of hard for me to film with one hand. But yeah, this motor's going to have to go in here like this. And then lift it up, and then as you can see that locating pin? It's gonna go in. It should fit in there. And once you get all three of them lined up, you should be able to push this thing on. So let me do that and I'll come back. Push it down for me. Okay, y'all. Y'all see I got the new motor in. Comes with new wires. You plug it in down there, but when you get your motor, you'll be able to see that. I actually went ahead and put the bolts back in while I had that motor swung up. I ain't gonna push that window all the way down. The more you push this down, the more it comes up. Now keep in mind, this is with the rivets out. So if your rivets is in your regulator, that's not gonna move. See how that's coming up into view? So while I had this like this, I went ahead and mounted the new one in with all three bolts. I had my wire connected on here. Your wire routes through here, plugs in here. Now I will say this aftermarket motor, the holes that these go through were just a hair too small to fit over those little guide pins that I showed you earlier. So what I did was I just took a drill bit and I opened that hole up just a little bit more, and then I was able to easily get that motor back up on there. I just put it up on there, put the bolts in there, tighten them up, routed my wire through here. Now another thing with these aftermarket motor, now this is my motor, maybe your motor work better, or maybe you got an OEM motor. The person that was paying for this, they didn't really want to pay like $40, $50, $60 for an OEM motor. This motor was $27.99 or something like that. You get what you pay for. When I got ready to plug these in, the OEM pins were a little bit too wide for the slots in the plug. So I just bent the pins just a little bit to get them to go in there, and then I was able to push this together. Before I squeezed those two pins together, it wouldn't really push up in there and lock down. So just squeeze your pins together a little bit, but you may not have to do that. Just try to plug it in regular and see if you can do it. And now I'm having to pull that window back up. You can't help them a little bit. If you push that motor down, that window will come back up for you, and you can just pull it up by hand, and you can see it gliding up. Now I did go ahead and grease all the tracks. I also greased that to help with that. Now I'm gonna show you how to get these rivets back in. Now you probably gonna need some help with this. I really can't see no other way you can do it without help. Pull up on that window. Now when he pull up on that smoker's window, you're gonna see this hole right here kind of line up, kind of. Hold on. You're gonna have to do a little bit of adjustment. You pulling up on it? There we go. Y'all see it just lined up. Okay, so you can let go. Now, this is the top left one. Once you get that one in, just leave that one like that, and then you'll kind of notice that ain't lining up. So what you want to do is you want to grab the motor down in here with this hand. Once again, like I said, I got my speaker out. Y'all see that? Can y'all see it? And then it'll line up for you. The rivets you want to use, I'm using 1/4 inch rivets. They got a pretty long shank. I think this is 1/2 inch reach. So like I said, what you want to do is, I'm gonna try to do this one hand. I know y'all can't see. I can barely see. But you just want to push that motor to get that to line back up. Slide your rivet in. Once you get them two in, these other ones should line up pretty easy. But the same method, you just want to kind of, let me show y'all. See, hand over here on the motor. See how it's not quite lined up? But you can push that motor, you can get it all the way lined up. So that's what you want to do for each one. And like I said, I'm filming with one hand. I don't have a tripod. Hold on. Anyway, I'm gonna put all the rest of these rivets back in. That's kind of self-explanatory. Wiggle it around, get your rivets in. And I'm gonna come back once I got all the rivets in. Alright, got all the rivets in. Wait, 1, 2, 4, 6. Alright, now that all the rivets are in, the motor's plugged in, now we're gonna check, see if the window works. If the window don't work, you won't see this video. Oh yeah, gotta take the tape off. I ain't working the tape off. If you wonder why I had tape up there, that's so that if the window happens to fall, which I never did take this completely off, so it never did fall because the regulator holds your window up. But just in case you don't want your glass to fall down. Alright, make sure I got the right buttons. Let's pray. Woo-hoo. This one ain't been down in so long. I think the regulator, or could be all these wires that are all this crap. I don't even know what all this is. But that could be part of the issue, that those wires are in the way. But yes, it is working. Yeah, see, I think these wires are catching. I think. Not completely sure. But anyway, you can see that sucker is working. I'm gonna figure out what it's hung on. But yeah, if you got any questions, leave them in the comments. As far as, and I can show y'all better when see, once you got that riveted in, see how the motor doesn't show up over there in the speaker hole. So that's why I said you have to have that unriveted to gain access to your motor over here. But anyway, that's that. Like I said, got any questions, leave them in the comment sections. Alright folks, one last thing about, well great, you probably won't be able to see it. Oh no, maybe. Can you see in there? Your window track right there. The reason why that window wasn't going up and down the way it's supposed to is because it needs to be greased. Now you can see that sucker's going down the way it's supposed to. So yeah, make sure you grease those tracks. I just sprayed some silicone lubricant up in there. WD-40 makes some. Seafoam makes some. That's what I sprayed in there with silicone lubricant. So everything's greased up. So I'm just gonna put the door panel on, and I hope this video helps somebody. All right, until next time, see you guys later.